tusen takk for at du kom. Synes du klarte det greit, tross jetlag og alt mulig rart. Takk skal du ha. Vi skal videre til tech-miljøet i Bergen. De har etablert et forskningssenter som de kaller for Media Futures. Og her jo hovedmålet for det senteret utvikling av ansvarlig medieteknologi og spesielt å utnytte AI-teknologi for mediebransjen. En av flere samarbeidspartnere der Amedia, og til å fortelle mer om det samarbeidet, ta vel imot Emiliano Guevera, Senior Data Scientist fra Amedia.
Hello everybody, can you hear me? That's very nice. I will break the Norwegian tendency so far today and present in English, just out of trying to make this go faster for you and for me. Reasoning in Norwegian in real time is not my favorite task. So, just let me start there. Today I will be presenting to you a short overview of what we are doing at Amedia at the moment and at Media Futures, what Media Futures is, what Amedia is, and where I come into this picture. And so a little bit about me. I'm born and raised in Argentina, but I did all my university studies, most of my university studies in Italy. My background is in theoretical linguistics and computational linguistics, which is what people nowadays call NLP. And I've been working at Amedia since 2018, so it's already 5 years in this company, and I think I will continue still for a few more years. So the topics for today, Amedia, Media Futures, and AI and language models at Amedia. So you probably know Amedia from this point of view. Amedia is one of the largest media publishers in Norway. Amedia partially or totally owns, as of today, 106 local newspapers and other national media and other media enterprises. We are also involved in local media in Sweden, although not in the same manner as we are in Norway. Talking about Norway, we have about 2,500 person years. Most of these is represented by our journalists who write for 106 different media. But, well, yeah, probably you have seen this image before. I haven't counted them. I actually I downloaded this image 3 or 4 months ago, so probably it has already been updated. We are present all over Norway. So we have a very, very well-distributed capital representation all over Norway. However, if you look from the point of view of language, most of these media publish in bokmål. As far as I know, there's only 2 newspapers that are mostly nynorsk, 2 out of 106. And only a couple of mixed media that have some content in Sami, in some version of Sami. But this is a 99.9% bokmål company. And besides the media side of it, besides all the different brands that we have in the local newspaper market, we are a technology company. Or at least if you look at Amedia in Oslo today, we are mostly a technology company. The way we have managed to survive with these local media so far is an economy of scale and an economy of optimization. We centralize all the digitalization services so that the newspapers don't have to set them up on their own. And there is about 200 developers, engineers, and over 20 different analysts at Amedia today. And besides that, well, in the end, 3 data scientists and 2 ML engineers. That is the area, the business area where I work. So Amedia has developed a data strategy since 2017, where everything that you see in this picture here, everything since data capture, every single thing you do on our websites, until the commercialization side of our enterprise, everything is owned in-house. We develop, we maintain, and we own everything that we use in our business. This point of view, this strategy, will or is already coloring the way we are approaching the new technologies such as large language models and artificial intelligence. So the team that is working with AI at Amedia is made out of 5 people. Siri is here with us today, my colleague, and we have been working on this since 2018. So it's still a rather new area, but we have been very active and things are working out pretty well so far. So that's so far for Amedia. What is my second point? Media futures. Media futures, similarly to what we heard about Norway, I don't know how you pronounce it. Media futures is another SFI, another Center for Forskningsdrevet Innovation. So it's an excellent center that is going to operate until 2028. And Media Futures is partially financed by Forskningsrådet and partially financed by private participants in the project. Media Futures, well, these are some of our partners. 3 main universities and a lot of the media and language technology situation in Norway today. We are organized into 5 different work packages in this area. And you see that the work packages span from trying to understand the relation between users and media with new technologies. And it's actually very interesting. For example, has any of you had any experience with news and TikTok? That was one of the posters we were shown last week at the annual conference in Bergen. Very interesting to know that there's a new generation of people that get their news from TikTok. And we, as media professionals, have no idea. So it is interesting to know what is going on with new media, not just the users, but users and new media. Then, of course, we have dedicated work packages to personalization and engagement. Work package 3, media content production analysis, goes mostly over fake news and detection of fake news. Then there's work package 4 that works a lot with technologies and interaction with news. How you can automatically extract information from video and make it interactive for the users. And finally, work package 5, which is the one where I have been active, regarding Norwegian language technologies. And that's where where all of the activities related to large language models come in. So it's an SFE that it's very comprehensive, a lot of people working in this. In the work package 5 activities, I will just mention some of the main points that have been happening in the last couple of years. As we heard from the National Library and from Norway and Schibsted, one of the main points for language modeling is gathering good data. We gave it a go for a couple of years. We tried to make a new media corpus that would somehow substitute the so-called aviskorpuset that it's quite old and quite small. And since we are many publishers are part of this project, we wanted to make an automatic data delivery, that every single article that we publish gets immediately delivered to the National Library, and it's immediately made available for research and modeling. Unfortunately, this didn't go well, mainly because of disagreement between some of the industrial partners and the National Library, and mainly regarding the commercial use of the data. Very important problems, and problems that we still have not been able to find a solution to. But for the aims of researching in this SFE project, the data are available. And I can only just say from my side, the FuturesAmedia part of this corpus has about 9 million articles as of today. And that's about 5 billion words, 5 billion tokens of local news. Very specialized, but very comprehensive. University of Oslo is one of the main actors in Work Package 5, and they have published recently some Siamese twin models, BERT, or actually Norbert. It's another one of these BERT models, and the same training materials were used for a T5 generative model. So these two go together. BERT is it's a bidirectional transformer model, and T5 generates text. I still haven't tried T5, but BERT is currently being used for fine-tuning at FuturesAmedia. And then we have been trying to gather data sets, to build data sets that will allow us to do better things in the future. For example, event structure. This is actually very interesting. If you probably are familiar with the concept of named entities. Named entities tell you who and where things happen in a text. Events tell you what happened. And not only what happened, they will tell you how it happened and who were the participants. Event structure has a main event. Say, for example, Emiliano talks today at MBL, and the talking takes place at MBL, and Emiliano is the subject of that talking. So this event structure data set is very useful to extract information from text, and eventually to link it, for example, with fact-checking. And it didn't exist so far. Just been the first version of the data set and the first model have just been published by a PhD at University of Oslo. The last one is the one that we are just starting now, and in regards, of course, building a data set for summarization in Norwegian text. This is something that we all want to use, and that we do by proxy. We do it because we use one of the large language models that kind of work, but we don't have data sets to train and fine-tune specific specialized models to do this task in Norwegian. And we are working on gathering these resources. Well, yeah, you can go to the website and see the list of publications and the models that are available today. Last week, as I was telling you, we had our annual meeting in Bergen, and the topic of the meeting was generative AI and AI policy. And that's what we are at the moment discussing mostly. It seems that regulation will finally enter the room very, very soon, and we are getting ready for it. And eventually, we are a bit late, but we're getting ready also to go to Brussels and lobby for our positions in the AI regulation. So finally, the point that what are we doing with AI and language models at Amedia as of today. We have several applications of natural language processing, artificial intelligence, machine learning. There's several aspects in the technology that are already integrated in the production at Amedia. And these are all technologies that are somehow before ChatGPT, before the autoregressive models that came out in 2020. So we're a bit delayed in the technology, but it's normal. It takes us a couple of years to implement in production what comes out in the technology. So as of today, we have the sort of automatic document classification and automatic tagging and named entity recognition for person, organization, locations, for example. And all of this is already, it has been already part of our production systems for years. We use this information, the entities we extract from text, and the automatic classifications we apply to all of our texts. Just another example from yesterday. We use all of this information that we extract automatically from our production to eventually model reader interests. If you are a reader, for example, of Drammenstidende, that has a certain preference for sports, politics, and transportation articles, then we will know what kind of interests you have. We will have an idea about it, and we will be able to present to you new articles that you might be interested in clicking and reading, therefore generating ad revenue for Amedia. That's a type of modeling that we do based on the linguistic analysis that we apply to all the production. We also use this information. We start most of our modeling from text analysis. We also have a model predicting reader engagement and loyalty in production. Although I must say that we are just starting with this, we're starting to model user segments for the ad market, also based in interests. And one test project that went very well was using automatically transcribing speech to text using Whisper, one of the large language models from OpenAI. Our journalists take notes in their telephones. They send these notes to a centralized server that transcribes everything and delivers back text to the journalist. This is tested already. It works pretty well, and it's already in deployment. One last model that we have been working on is inspired by the BBC and SmartOcto user needs. I don't know if you're aware of user needs model. It's a document classification system that tries to discover what is the text doing for the user. Is this text giving the user just information? Is this text trying to engage the user in some way? So there's 8 different categories in the model, and we have built a data set with our news, and we have fine-tuned. We actually tried fine-tuning the National Library NB-BERT and also NORBERT from University of Oslo. And this is, both work pretty well. This is the latest classification system. So what's next? And that's where we are as of today. What's next? We are starting the work towards integrating large language models in our production systems. And that means integrating them directly into our content management system, our writing tools for all of our journalists. And the starting work with this is already going on. And we are working mostly, for a start, with automatic summaries and titles, headlines. And we are testing models from OpenAI and Microsoft, not Microsoft, Google, sorry. We are commercial partners of Google for most of our production rig, so it seemed just natural to test the Google models. The idea is just to start testing and eventually move on to fine-tuning their models for our own purposes with our data, teaching the models at OpenAI and Google how to do the job that we want to do. And it's very exciting to hear that not only Magnus Algren will present a model that is already published for Norwegian and for the Nordic languages today, but very nice to hear that Norway is also moving forward, and the National Library has a GPT model that we can test. I think that we will be discussing very, very much the last point here. What is the future going to be? Are we really going towards a situation in which we will have centralized national models, such as the National Library seems to be pushing forward, or Norway seems to be pushing forward? Or are we going towards an alternative view? We might end up with, as we actually have, parallel open source models. Maybe that's the future. And maybe you will be able to choose and pick whatever you want. Or, and this is my prediction, but I'm not a very good predictive model, so don't trust me so much. But I think that we're leaning towards a situation in a few years where we will have many different, very specialized private models. But for example, Amedia and Schibsted get together and train a highly, highly specialized summarization model that we don't let anyone else touch, for example. I think that we might be going towards this situation in which things are going to be much more complicated and much more dynamic coming on into the future. But yeah, it's very exciting, and it's very interesting to see that so much is happening. So that's all for me today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emiliano.